Hi, today we are going to be talking about proving quadrilaterals. So we are going to determine whether they are squares, rectangles, or none of the above. And the idea is we have to show all of our work because we're proving it. We're not just saying, hey, it looks like, we're actually proving it, so you have to show all your work. So first of all, given this shape over here, I have points A, B, C, and D, and I just labeled those myself. So you could label yours as well. You could have labeled them differently. And this is number 1 on the assignment, by the way. So it says, first of all, to list all 4 side lengths. We'll define side lengths A to B. You're just going to simply use the distance formula. Now, distance formula is going to go through and you're going to solve for it. So it's going to be big square root of, and then you go x minus x squared. So negative 9 minus a negative 9 squared plus y minus y squared. 9 minus a negative 2 squared. So then you're going to work that out. 2 negatives make a positive, so this is just 0 squared. 2 negatives make a positive, so that's 11 squared, which gives us 0 plus 121, which gives us a total of 121, which is square root of that is 11. So that's the length from A to B. So now we're going to find the lengths just going all the way around. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find the lengths of B to D. So I'm going to do the same thing, big square root, x minus x, so negative 9 minus 4 squared, plus y minus y, so negative 2 minus a negative 2 squared. So I go ahead and I do my math. So it gives me a negative 13 squared, and then this gives me a 0 squared. Well, from there, negative 13 squared is 169, plus 0, so it's square root of 169, which is the same as 13. So the length from B to D is 13. Now we also have to go ahead and find our next length. So next I'm going to go C to D. So I go big square root of 4 minus 4, x minus x squared, plus y minus y squared, 9 minus a negative 2 squared. Now I'm going to shortcut this a little bit because I showed you before, so hopefully this will make sense to you. So 4 minus 4 is 0, 0 squared is 0, plus 9, just make two negatives make a positive. So 9 plus 2 is 11, 11 squared is 121, which gives me the square root of 121, which square root of 121 is 11. So that's the length of C to D. My last side I have to do is from A to C. So same thing, big square root, x minus x, so negative 9 minus 4 squared, plus y minus y, 9 minus 9 squared. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and work out my math. Negative 9 minus 4 is a negative 13. Negative 13 squared is a positive 169. From there, 9 minus 9 is 0. 0 squared is 0. Then from there, you get the square root of 169, which is the same as 13. So far, my side lengths, these ones end up being 11, 11, 13, and 13. So right away, I know it could be a rectangle. I haven't narrowed it down yet. I know it is definitely not a square. Okay, because a square would have all 4 sides. Well, to determine that it's actually going to be a rectangle, I have to go through and I have to say that the slopes are the same. So now my next part is I found this 4 side lengths. Now I have to do the slopes. So I have to find my slopes because they have to be perpendicular lines to be a rectangle. Otherwise, we just have like a parallelogram, which is kind of a squished shape, right? So I'm going to do the same thing. So I have to do A to B. So when I figure out A to B, to find my slope, it's y, I'll put this at the top. Slope, remember, is y minus y over x minus x. That's how you find your slope. So I'm going to go from A to B. So I'm going to go y minus y. So 9 minus a negative 2 over x minus x. Now here's the difference. I started with this 9 from point A. So I have to start with the negative 9 from point A as well. You can't switch up the order. Minus a negative 9. So this gives me 11 over 2 negatives make a positive, 11 over 0. But remember, anything over 0, we as mathematicians don't know how to deal with that. So we say it is undefined. In other words, we have not determined how we're going to say a vertical up and down line, what's the slope. Next, after that, I'm now going to do B to D. So I'm going to find the slope of segment B to D. So again, y minus y, so negative 2 minus a negative 2, over, if I started with a negative 2 from B, I have to start with a negative 9 from B, negative 9 minus 4. 2 negatives make a positive, so this gives me 0 over a negative 13. Well, 0 over something, we know what that is. That's simply 0. So it's a flat slope. There is no slope. It's not going up or down. It's just a horizontal line. My next one is C to D. I'm just going around the shape. So from C to D, it's y minus y over x minus x. So I'm going to start 9 minus a negative 2 over 4 minus 4. So this gives me 11 over 0. Again, we don't know what anything is if you divide it by 0. We just don't have a term for it, so it's undefined. And my last one I have to go is from A to C. So from A to C, y minus y, so 9 minus 9 over a negative 9 minus 4. So this again gives me 0 over negative 13, which is just 0. So we go from there. So the next part of my assignment, so if you noticed, a couple of these things, your slopes, 2 of them are the same and the other 2 are the same. Well, it asks for some information. It asked me to list the parallel sides. So which sides are parallel? Which sides have the same slope? Well, in my case, AB, and now you may have named your ordered pairs differently. So in mine, AB is parallel, kind of 2 slanted lines, to CD. And then we also have BD, which is parallel to AC. So I have 2 sets of parallel sides. Okay, then it wants to know about perpendicular sides. So your perpendicular sides, which ones are perpendicular? Which ones create a 90-degree angle? Well, if you were dealing with numbers, if you'd have 2/3 perpendicular would be a negative 3/2. It's called a negative reciprocal. You flip it upside down, change the sign. In our case, an undefined and a 0 slope are perpendicular. So we can say that segment AB is perpendicular to segment BD because you have an undefined slope and a 0 slope. We can also say segment BD is perpendicular to segment CD because one has a 0 slope and one has a perpendicular, or one has the undefined slope. Then we can also say CD, somehow I messed up, I made a mistake. I did A to B, and then B to D, and then B to D to C to D. So now I'm going to say C to D is perpendicular to AC. Oh, I found my mistake. And then finally, AC, the top, is perpendicular to that left side, AB. Okay, so the symbol for perpendicular is an upside down capital T. This should all be review. This whole assignment is review. Just putting everything together at once. So we found our lengths. And our lengths, we have 2 sets of congruent sides. Our slopes, we found our slopes. We have 2 sets of congruent slopes, of parallel slopes, sorry. And then all the sides are perpendicular. So we are going to call this a rectangle. Reason, they're all right angles. That's what it means to be perpendicular. And there are 2 sets of congruent sides. So yes, this is a rectangle. So that shape is done.